when you go to a city, are you a person that explores that whole city?
Absolutely. I just love design, like architecture, mid-century. I like seeing stuff that the design, like, whoa, look at this. So it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's the Grammys, and it's the Super Bowl. And it's always these people, man, where's the rock and roll? For 30 years, it was only white people playing rock and roll on the Grammys and the Super Bowl. And it's like, you had your run, dude.
What's your worst night at the Comedy Store?
Anything after. My favorite thing about the election is a lot of liberals were driving Teslas. And now they're trapped. Dark MAGA Elon came out. Gotcha. The T on the back is for Trump. You funded the last 6 months of the campaign. And they can't get rid of them because Republicans are like gasoline. I can just see people now with a Sharpie at night going up to it. R-U-M-P. You're not going to be able to look at a Tesla without thinking about that ever.
Are you, when you hit the stage, are you a fight or flight dude like that loves to be kind of starving before you go on stage, or do you like that full feeling before?
I could do anything. People are like, there's those people that are like, I can't eat before I go on stage. I can't do this. I can do 6,000 sets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm hungry, I got to eat something because the amount of energy you're, putting on, even if you're a one-liner comic.
Oh man.
Your mind and everything is going to where the energy is exuded,
Those one-liner comics, they blow me away, man. It's unbelievable.
There's not very many anymore because you got to write like 6,000 jokes for your hour special.
Bro.
I know comics that started out one-liners, comics, and then later they're storytellers. You're like, hey, what happened?
Dude, and you know what? To be honest with you, I saw a great one. I don't remember. This was back in the day at the Improv in Hollywood. But I saw a one-liner comic, and in 10 minutes, they probably did about 50 jokes.
Oh, yeah.
And as an audience member, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Just to be able to comprehend that much and laugh and it was very taxing on me as an audience member.
It's a tough style. Like, when I was growing up, I loved Stephen Wright. I'm 59 now as of last week.
Oh, so happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday.
I saw him on that epic Johnny Carson, premiere, and you're like, oh my God. So then I went to go see him on tour. And after about 20, you're done because you're just like, because they're all killer. And you're, And after a while, you're like, that was a good one. Yeah. That was a good one. Because you're just,
same
he was
exhausted.
that good.
Yeah.
He was insane.
And also, I feel like in comedy, just like storytelling, you need to bring people up and down to keep them interested.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, you
gotta
can't.
let them refresh.
Yeah. But even like the good storytellers are sort of, if you think about it, kind of like one-liner comics, because even in their stories, every 12 syllables they're putting a punchline in.
Well, that's
that's the trick. If you think
Al
about
Madrigal's the best at it.
Yeah, he's great.
Like he would tell these great stories, like about his daughter joining ballet or whatever, and then it would have these jokes in there, and that's the best way to go because you're telling your life. So people aren't going to go, hey, you ripped that off.
Yep.
It's like, I don't know about that, buddy. You got a story like that, and then you have these jokes in there. It's great.
It's basically real life stories. I tell people, ask me, you're a comic? Yeah, I'm a comic. I'm a storyteller that punches up my story.
Right.
That's all it is. You're just punching up your story. But it starts from a real base. Is there anyone... because I get annoyed about this. Since I'm half black and half Asian.
Yeah. You're Blasian, as you say.
Blasian, yeah. So, but I get this a lot on my Instagram is I get compared to Joe Coy a lot.
Right.
But not because we're the same, because if I tell a joke about my Asian mom in her accent, they go, oh, you're just Joe Coy. It's almost like they're saying only one comedian can have an Asian mom. Mm-hmm. The premise, or just an Asian mom. Like if I do then you're Joe Coy. Yeah. Do you ever get that, like, oh, you sound like such and such, or you're doing such and such?
I don't get that really, because I don't know. When I started, everybody starts. I think you're looking at guys figuring out how to do it, but I had been on stage so long before that. This is my 41st year on stage.
That's crazy.
I was just Dean.
Yeah.
I mean, I got way better at it, but, I tell stories in between songs when I was playing music, and some people thought that was the best part of the show.
Yeah. I tell you, Michael Bublé does that.
Yeah.
I don't know but he's a stand-up comedian. Like, he is funny in between songs. And I think that brings out so much more of an artist when you're performing, like with, singing, and then you can break out and just captivate people with talking.
Yeah, it's a big artist just asked me to go on tour. It's not confirmed yet, so I won't say anything who it is, but in June, and they're going to go out and do a storyteller show, and they want me to open it. I'm kind of fired up on that because I'd like to figure out how to do a storyteller show because, when I was young, I saw Henry Rollins do storytelling.
Man, that was game changing when I was at that age of like 15 when I heard it. Oh, it was so good.
I couldn't even believe it had been 3 hours he did at the UC Berkeley. And I thought it was like an hour. Mm-hmm. It was that good. And when I interviewed him, I go, how do you remember all that? And he said he'd just walk up Ventura Boulevard every night, back and forth, and just run it in his head.
Now, when you say story, because I haven't seen it, is it just on stage and you're walking through people through a story, or is it set pieces?
It's a bunch of stories, but they thread through. The particular one the year I went was really about traveling and how stupid people are while you're traveling, and it was unreal. And the guy's full tense, I'm up there. He's like, he's really radical, but just to captivate somebody like that, because it's tough. A lot of people will come up to me and they'll go, tell them that one story, man. Yeah. And I'm burnt on it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, it's more exciting to them. To me, I've told it so many times that's the tough part. You know? But I'd like to try it.
What would be different between your normal stand-up show and a storytelling show? You could just take more time and develop stories. Is that what it is?
They don't expect you to hammer them over and over. You know what I mean? Gotcha. A comedy is like, hey, this is comedy. What's with this fucking story? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with storytelling, it's funny as shit in unexpected spots. I think when you first tell somebody a story, you're like, God, dude, I was just down at this birthday party. And then people start laughing like, what?
Yeah.
So it's just a different rhythm and I think less pressure.
100%.
Yeah.
To me, for a comic that pounds people, it's kind of a break, because you already know the funny in the story.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my last special I shot, or the one two times ago, when I talked about my COVID experience.
Yeah.
So in 12 minutes, I just pounded it. But then my agent watched it and he goes, that could have been the whole special.
Right.
Just that one, just you almost dying should have been a whole special because you sped it up so much. But you didn't put in the heart of it and this of it. And I look back and I go, man, I was right. But that's the way I write comedy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I should have took it more as a one-man show type of vibe. And then I could have had that 12 minutes stretched out, could have been 30, 45 minutes, just that one story. Because there was so much I didn't put in it. And now it's interesting. It got flagged when it first came out. But now, since COVID is a thing of the past, it's blowing up now because people are like, wow, this happened.
Right.
Now, no matter what political lines, you can enjoy it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a storytelling's an interesting thing. Like Jeselnik is fantastic one-liner, you know?
Yeah.
But a couple specials back, at the end, he closed with this story about Shark Party, about how...
Yeah, it was great.
Killer. So I asked him in the parking lot at the store, I said, hey, is that going to be kind of your, launching into a new style to get the pressure off the one-liners and stuff? And he goes, man, I don't know. I just get up each day.
Let me tell you, man, when I saw that, and then when he did the spiel about taking pictures with dead people or people that passed away where you're trying to make it about you, I was like, that right there is the Anthony Jeselnik I want to hear, because he's a brilliant one-liner.
Right.
But it's kind of like when I watch his new special, I'm like, I already know what's going to happen. Like, it's just rinse and repeat. He's going to say something brilliant at the end of this, but it's kind of like there's no up and down. It's just boom, boom. But man, I was so blown away by those stories. And I was like, I hope one day he gets to that point, because I enjoy that, Anthony Jeselnik, a lot more than the one-liners, even though they're brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's the same pace. It's over and over and over.
Right.
Where when he told that story about people wanting attention, taking selfies, and the shark, I was like, this is what I love about him, And you don't hear that much.
It'd be great if they did a combo. You know?
Yeah.
But who am I to say? The guy's killing him. And also, I don't think there's anybody out there better at doing what he's doing. So if you're the king of what you're doing,
it's true.
Just, and maybe inspire other people to write better jokes.
Yeah.
Then it's a win-win. But that Shark Party was fucking great.
Yeah.
I fire it up like once a year. Like if I'm on a plane and there's a delay, I'm like, I'm gonna watch Shark Party.
He's so good. He's so good at that.
Yeah. The other thing about storytellers is they realize that not everything is a story. It's everything. It's just those special moments that deserve a story, and they really refine and give the details of the story. As we're like, my family was in town last week, and I literally sat for 20 minutes in my living room and listened to my aunt talk about how the bathroom at the Venetian was out of paper towels. And I was like, we could have ended this with just like, boy, they should really fill those paper towels, huh? Yeah. Could have moved on. It just kept going on. And I'm like, it's so grating. Like, don't you realize that this is not going anywhere?
Well, some people don't know how to tell stories. When they say long story short, I'm like, that was a real long story.
Right.
Yeah.
Still, and you understand, I hang around like funny people, so I'm captured here. I'm like,
What is the vibe? Because the last time you were on the podcast, and this is something I wanted to follow up on, but I never asked you. I know you said sometimes you like to go up with new stuff, and it doesn't work, and you got to develop just like every other comic. But what is that pressure like to do that in the Comedy Store? Like, I know on the road we get more. It's our people. Right. We get more flexibility to do that on the road. How is that when it really doesn't go well in the Comedy Store? I know they're all pros there, but do you feel like a certain way about it? Or do you not take as many chances there?
I started in the era where like I said before, the place was a ghost town.
Yeah, that's true.
So, in Mitzi's eyes, from what I understand, is the place was the gym, and you worked out there, and then you went out on the road and made your money with these bits that you worked out in the store. Mm-hmm. Somewhere along the way, or like 5 years ago, that kind of changed, I think, in people's minds, because there was like the producers and managers and agents in there. But I think the more respect you get as a comedian is trying new shit in there and bombing, not giving a fuck if someone in there from CAA or fuck, I mean, I was doing a perfect example. Last Friday, I was doing the Improv, and I just had notes, and it was sold out. And I'm just like, let's try this one. And the next day, I got a call from that show, Shrinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted me to audition for this role. It was supposed to shoot today, but perfect example. I was just in there.
Yeah.
But maybe they're like, this guy's fucking real,
Yeah.
I don't know what the thing is, but to me, I have to use the room. I don't get a spot every night at the store. So when I'm in there, I don't give a fuck about killing. I need to get in there and work on these jokes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
And you got the respect, though, where they give you that leniency even at the store. I wonder, like, a new person in the store.
Right.
Like, I remember my first time walking into the Cellar in New York. They go, your first times, this is not a workout.
Oh, yeah.
This is you,
you
going
kill.
up. You got to kill.
Yeah.
So now I get that leniency.
Yeah.
But it's still, man, it's even like it's so much to me. Everybody kills for some reason, and I'm talking about the Cellar because I haven't been to the Comedy Store in a while. But when you go there, the level is so high. You got Godfrey, you got all these greats coming in, and just like at the Comedy Store. But you're like, they're killing. I'm gonna have to kill tonight.
Yeah.
It's not a workout night tonight because everybody. Because you know those nights where everybody's kind of working out new stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're like, okay, this is great.
And they got special shows for that.
Yeah,
At like the store and the Cellar.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but I'm still working out, you know. You got Keith over there, Robinson, that joke stinks. And that's fair. You kind of need that also. You need to see what makes the comedians laugh too, because they're so jaded.
Yeah.
And if they dig it, somebody a couple nights ago was like, oh, I love that joke. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's better to me than watching people laugh.
Dude, I've had a joke bomb in the room at the store and somebody like, that's a great concept.
Oh yeah.
Go with it.
Oh yeah.
Go with it. Because we see it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
like,
yeah. I love it.
We were talking about this at dinner last night about Jim Florentine, comic from New York, who was telling his kid who plays basketball, like, hey, man, you can't complain about your playing time if you don't go practice. I mean, I'm a comic. I've been doing it for 30 years, and I still go out and practice. And I heard that on a podcast, and like, there was a part of me that died a little bit because I'm like, oh, that's right. Like, so you get to that level, and you just go, oh, I guess I'm just here now.
Once you get to that level, it's even tougher.
It's even harder
because you got to maintain it and kick it up.
Yeah,
because like this is what I love about comedy. Even the greats are in the same club you are every night, trying to get better.
That's the craziness. I always say about when I played music, you're not at the club and Prince is rolling in, and then right after that Springsteen, and then here comes like Jack White,
Yeah.
But when you're doing comedy, that's the level of stars that are coming in.
Yeah.
It's unreal, And then they go like, and you.
And you.
And the audience is always like, But if you can kill them on the first joke, then
What is your strategy? I mean, you've gone on before Bill Burr a lot, but like, what is your strategy going after someone like that at a comedy store? Because what I've learned in my case, I went on after Seinfeld 3 times in New York, right? Standing O for him and all that. My strategy in it, I used to just try to run out and do my stuff. And then it was like, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Then I found out with Seinfeld, just acknowledge what the audience just saw.
Oh, yeah.
Don't pretend like you didn't see what they just saw.
Right.
They saw greatness.
Yeah.
And once you acknowledge that, nail it with your first show, then it's all you. What's your strategy on it?
I always hit them with this. I go, you paid $20 and you just saw Bill Burr. So you got your money's worth. Now I can just do anything I want.
That's funny.
You already got, what I mean? It's not like we spent 20 and it was shit,
Yeah.
You got a crazy deal tonight. You should be paying 100 for that,
Yeah, 100%.
And the way I always take it is like, either you're going to kill and people go, holy shit, he went after Bill and killed, or you're going to bomb and they go, well, he went on after Bill.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. To me, there's no weight in it. You know what I mean? And I think it's some of the best weight on your shoulders to go on after the killers. I remember there's times at the store where people are like, I don't want to go on after such and such or such and such. And I was like, well, you shouldn't really be a paid regular then, because you should be able to go on after
anybody.
anyone.
Yeah.
That's just insanity to me.
And let's be honest. Once you go after these people enough, all that pressure you had in your head is really stuff you made up.
Yeah.
Because those people, yes, they enjoyed Bill Burr. They saw, but funny is funny.
Oh, yeah.
They want to laugh.
And if you can riff and get like an organic riff off of something he did or whatever, you're in, man.
Do you always watch the comic before you, no matter who it is, before you go on?
I don't really anymore.
Yeah.
I used to.
Yeah.
But I stay in the hall.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to know what the room temperature is. I don't know I want to know what they're talking about. nothing, you know. I just want to go up fresh. And
I'm like that too. You don't
start
want to
getting in your head like, oh, this audience is, these guys are brutal. Well, I don't need that, you know.
What's your worst night at the Comedy Store?
You know, anything after 11, I don't really get off on anymore. It's just not. It's not what I'm there for. You know, I don't need to go down there and talk to people. I used to do that to find stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't like it anymore. It's just too like, I'm here. I want to work on jokes. They're done. You know, you're looking around. People are like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, they got phone bags now, which makes it still better now, you know, but I just don't get off on real late sets anymore. And it's not because I'm old or something, because it's just because I'm there for a reason. I'm not there to hang out.
Yeah,
I'm there to work on jokes.
That's the thing. The later it gets, it becomes a hang. And I know, like, when you're trying to get into the store in a lot of places, it's all about the hang.
Oh, dude, I did it for 10 years. I'd leave at 4 a.m. But now I like to sleep. I got my dog.
You're healthy.
And I like to work.
Yeah.
You know, I like to go there and work.
What's your favorite club in the country?
The store.
The store.
It's the only
That's
reason
right.
I live in LA.
Yeah.
You know, I lived in New York. I moved back because I missed the store. You know?
How was New York when you lived there?
It was great. I loved it, but COVID hit, and I was like, oh, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I needed some mountains and some air and, you know, the Joshua Tree and wide open spaces, you know? I was gone.
Are you a hiker?
Well, I was born in Yosemite, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. White people love to hike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
We're sturdy people.
I don't believe in that. I believe people like to hike.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
The only place that people of color like to hike is Runyon because it's popular.
Oh, well, that's dumb. I call that a day club.
That it is a day club.
It's a day club. They got like, you know, full makeup on, you know, brand new outfits.
Dude, next time you go, you hardly ever see a person of color hiking. I'm telling you, man, it just doesn't happen. Or skydiving.
Yeah.
That's something we don't do, Dean.
Yeah. Oh, man. I just saw this story and I'm trying to work it as a bit. But this guy, he was 18. His mom took him to go skydiving. You know, they attached. And he died in front of her. And this is like 2 weeks ago in Modesto, California. I was reading this to Bill.
Wait, he died in front?
Well, the guy's chute didn't come out. So he was on a dude and they died, the two dudes.
Gotcha.
So I'm reading it, right? And they go, yeah, they died. And a matter of fact, this is the 30th death in the last 20 years. I go, wait, how are they open? How are they open? And this might be a time you want to read the Yelp reviews.
Yes.
You know, went with a buddy, died. Like 30th. Dude, after 2, don't they shut it down?
I think I heard that story. No, it's true. It's true.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also like that with it was either a yacht service and they finally went out a bit, like the cruise that catches on fire, or the helicopters.
Oh yeah.
There was one company, I think like 15 helicopters went down and they were still
30
running.
guys died in the last 20 years there. And they're open.
Yeah.
Man, read the Yelp. That's when I'm reading the Yelp. You know?
Yeah, we went to Phoenix for a buddy.
Or is there a Yelp at all? They died.
You would hope.
I know,
There is no Yelp.
How grim is that? We went out. It was a real nice place. They had coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
But son died. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, unbelievable.
They did a great job scooping them off the pavement.
Oh,
thumbs up there.
Okay.
Nuts, dude. I couldn't believe they said that. I had to read it twice. I go, 30, and they're open. What?
Dude, do you read Yelp reviews? The only place
I don't.
See, I do.
Well,
I do for restaurants.
Right.
When
You know
I'm
what,
traveling. That's the only place I read them.
If you think about it, that's only 15 actual accidents because it's 2 people who die each time. Because you got the guy and the guy who's strapped to him who hit the ground.
20 years, less than 1 a year.
Still,
is that acceptable?
With skydiving, you don't want in.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
I mean, have you done it? I've done it.
I
So
would
you
not.
go in the morning,
dude,
and they got this dude, and I'll tell you, they got a dude with those VCRs they roll out.
Oh yeah.
And he just pops in an old VHS tape, and it's like, when you're strapped in, and it's like this really bad video.
See, Dean, right there.
Yeah.
When you roll out a VCR,
Yeah.
I'm not jumping.
Yeah,
if you haven't updated your technology.
Yeah, DVD. Where's a DVD?
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
No DVD?
Just
and that's dated.
Right? Just text me the video and I'll watch it. That's the place I'll skydive. But go ahead. They roll this thing out because I don't know how it works.
And then the whole thing is the packing of the chute. So you don't know. So you're asking your guy right away, like, hey, you've done this before, right? That's the first thing you ask, And they go, oh, yeah, I got 67 jumps or whatever, But they have to pack their chute. So to me, a lot of people just smoke weed all day long.
All day.
So you could be like, man, I think I forgot something there, but we're good. You know what I mean? Like I compare it, and this isn't even that close because it's not death, but I drink decaf, and I always go to the coffee shop, and I'll look at the person like, decaf, right? To make sure, and they'll go, yeah. And they just lie.
Yeah.
And it's a gamble. I'll be like, now I'm on stage, all like jittery, like, it was fucking caffeine. That's just like skydiving and dying.
But kind of, yeah. But you know what? The thing is, they die too. So you would hope they have, they value their life.
Right.
Unless you met a person that just was like, today
Suicide.
I'm committed suicide and you're coming with me.
Yeah.
And that's why, that's white people shit, Dean.
Yeah.
That, y'all love to take risks with your lives. Like me, I would never skydive.
Yeah.
I would never bungee cord. You probably bungee cord.
Bungeed.
Of course.
Cabo.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I did it all before I was 30 because I didn't think I was going to be alive. I was out playing music, doing drugs.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. And now I'm like, nah.
You won't do it now though, right?
No, I skydived twice. And the second time I did it, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I had already survived the scariest shit ever, and I'm up there doing it again. I was like, this is some dumb shit.
Were you about to pull out?
I was, man.
Yeah.
The first time I was for sure, man. You get up there, it's ice cold. They open the door and it's freezing up there. You're way up there, and you're like, and they got a thing on the plane I was on. When you jump off, it says "see ya," a C and a YA. You come out like this.
Yeah.
And it is unreal, man. The adrenaline.
What's the feeling like? Yeah.
The adrenaline is so fierce that you kind of black out for a second, like a zoom. You're like, whoa, we're out here.
Yeah.
And then you are screaming fast.
Is it enjoyable?
It is.
How far in is it enjoyable? Once the chute opens.
Chute's out. I swear to God, once it's out, you're like,
Yeah, when your feet hit the ground, that's the best part of it.
But when you jump out, man, there's just nothing in your brain that says this is cool. The second time I did it in one of those cool military planes where the door drops out.
Nice.
That's way better. Because when you're in a little rink-a-dink plane and the guy opens the side door, and then get out here, and you're stepping out onto the fucking wing. You're just like, no. It's like my dog when it's raining out. No
way.
Oh my God, that shit. But when it's a run out the back, fuck it. We just ran out.
So
the back.
which one was more enjoyable? The second one.
Yeah, the second.
But you didn't want to do the second one.
No, I didn't. I just did it because you're gonna love this. I was in Florida, and hurricane. I think it was Andrew or whatever down there had hit, and there was nothing to do. We went to go to Disneyland, and it was closed for the day. And so we go, fuck it, let's skydive. And we skydived over the wreckage, to go out there and see we're like, we'll go up in the plane and see the damage, and then we skydived. It was pretty crazy.
Feels a little macabre. I know everybody just lost all their homes, but you know what? For $200 we're gonna jump out of a plane.
What happened was the guy was like, "Oh, we're gonna be flying over the damage," And we're like, "Oh, wow, that's kind of wild," to see that.
Do you what besides comedy? Is there any other things you do? Like, what's this besides music too? Because we know you're a musician. How do you relax?
I'm a car freak, so Porsches. I go to a lot of these coffee and cars.
Oh yeah,
I love them, man. I love the people. It's like people that are pure Porsche people, not the people that just buy something to show up, but old vintage, like Seinfeld's into it, obviously he's way into it, but just the I think I talked about it before. I just love design, like architecture, mid-century. I like seeing stuff that the design, like, whoa, look at this, So I'm way into, I go to open houses like crazy.
Oh, do you?
Mid-centuries.
Oh, mid-century.
Yeah. I go like every
week.
Do
you, when you go to a city, like if you're there performing on a weekend, are you a person that explores that whole city?
Absolutely.
I need to be better at that.
Oh, I love it, man. Well, I go like, Bill and I were on the road. We were somewhere and we were staying in this hotel. And then I go, oh, well, you know what? There's the last Frank Lloyd Wright hotel here, actual hotel, the last one standing. And he goes, oh, cancel our hotel. We're going there. And we stayed there. It was great, So I go see a lot of architecture when I'm on the road. And then I also like to go to museums, of course, big time.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, any kind of museum,
Rudy is the guy that will just walk everywhere. He loves walking. Yeah. But I need to be more like Rudy. Like in you, like we're so blessed to be able to travel to these places for free.
Yeah.
And then when you don't look, you can find material, but also you just in a city.
Well, I traveled 25 years without seeing a city.
And you didn't do that. Okay.
Because I was drinking. So you're just sleeping like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then you're on the bus or whatever, But once I started doing comedy, I go, oh, I'm going to go see America, and really see it, man. It's wild to see like different stuff out there, and bits galore come to you.
Oh yeah. It's kind of also, you could see the growth of America, like in certain places, in my case, like you can go to a southern town and see the places where slaves stayed. And
Wilmington, North Carolina. We would have never went if it wasn't for Dead Crow Comedy. What an exquisite place.
What amazing place. But then they're showing you this is where the slaves were traded. Or you're learning, like when I'm in Washington, I got invited to the White House and I was blown away just being there.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, this is where everything happens.
Oh man.
And you're at in the courthouse. I mean, in the, right outside of it, like you could walk up the steps if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It just blew me away. And there's a president standing right in front of me.
Yeah.
And it just blew me away because this is where history is here.
Mount Rushmore, like you're thinking like, when you're a kid, I ain't gonna see that bullshit, when you turn the corner, there's a corner on the way to Mount Rushmore and you look up in the trees. I did it on a motorcycle, and my buddy's like, whoa, whoa, and you look, and through the trees, you just see Lincoln's nose, right? And you're like, whoa, man. And then you turn, and there they are, and you get out, and you walk up to it, and you're like, some fucking guys carved that fucking out of a mountain. Yeah. Each morning, they got up,
right?
Drank coffee, smoked cigarettes, up there 8 to 10 hours, ting, ting.
How long did it take? Do we know? Did you learn that?
I don't remember.
Years.
But you watch, like they're doing what's his name? The Indian, was it Geronimo or
Chief Sitting Bull?
On the other side, they're doing the Indian.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And that thing's going to take like 50 years. But there's guys down on the ground with binoculars, and they got radios, and they're like, to the right.
No way.
A little bit to the right. There you go. Yeah, because you can't see what you're hitting because you're in front of it on a mountain,
So going from this, and this is a far stretch.
Yeah.
The whole alien conversation with pyramids.
Yeah.
Do you believe it was man, or do you believe in it? Where do you fit on this whole alien versus man actually did that with pyramids?
A man did that for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, man, it's like I was telling Rudy this last night, you know, these conspiracy theorist people, they ruin parties forever with get you in a corner like, you know what's going on, you know. And this perfect example was, you know, during COVID, they said aliens do exist. Here they are. And no one gave a fuck.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
All people care about is if their phone has battery juice.
Yeah.
That's all people care about right now. Can I scroll?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that came out. Aliens, here it is. Here it is. And everybody went, yeah, anyway,
Whatever.
I got to go down to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Not one person gave a fuck.
What, did they come out and really say that?
Yeah.
Did
They
they?
came out with
Okay.
the,
I thought
during
they-
COVID.
I thought they said there was UFOs, unidentified, but they didn't say they were aliens.
Yeah, they said they had, you know, UFOs, aliens,
Okay.
you know, parts that had hit the earth. And,
Okay.
You know, like, and no one cared.
Yeah, it's a thing where it's weird to me. We're in a place where there's no truth anymore because people hold their own truth. And what I'm saying is I could say something, I could say this is white. Somebody will say, well, actually, it's not really white.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's just so many conversations of it's not truth, it's their truth. And now
With AI, it's over because these deep fake videos and everything. So all day long, people send me stuff, both sides, because, you know, I did that Tesla bit, you know, and people go crazy. Both sides. And I'm like, hey, man, you could send me videos till you're fucking dead. I don't believe videos anymore.
No.
Because they're perfect. Perfect video, like of when the Laker trade happened. They got the guy and he's like, yeah, I got this new haircut. And LeBron is bullshit. He runs the team. It straight up looks like him talking.
Yeah.
And you're going like, oh, for a few minutes, I'm like, oh, man, this guy's talking shit.
Yeah.
And then I go, oh, wait, this is fake.
AI.
But, man, you get, you know, Hillbilly Bob in the middle of the night. No, man, I saw the video. And it's like over with. You're like, dude, you know that was made.
But how does that happen? How
know.
are we in a point in history where there's no truth anymore?
It's bizarre. It's so bizarre. So now I think you have to get up, like I say every day, and do what you love and just ignore everything.
You have to.
Yeah, you just got to get up.
You have to.
I love doing comedy. I get up, I walk my dog. I love my dog. I do comedy. And all that other shit is off.
Here's what's so amazing. When you fact check someone,
that
means you're showing they're wrong. They're actually lying.
Yeah.
But to a lot of people, you're taking away that person's freedom of speech by fact checking them in real time.
It's nuts.
That blows. So it's wrong now to tell people that, oh, you're actually lying about that and have the wrong information. Because one side will be like, oh, well, you're taking away their freedom of speech. So freedom of speech now is having the ability to lie and make people believe something that's not true. That blows me away.
I'm just glad I grew up in 1966 when I was born, because I only got a little left of this, you know? You know what I mean? Because it was so good for so long.
You know what's crazy? I was talking to maybe Rudy or my wife about this. When we were growing up, you didn't know what party the other person you dated.
I didn't know shit.
And you didn't care.
Not at all.
You didn't care.
There's no signs on the lawn.
No.
It's
like I had no idea. The girl, they were just hot and I wanted to be with them. That's it. I didn't care what affiliate, like what party that. Now everything is so political. Everything is made so political.
It's funny that I was talking to somebody about the halftime Super Bowl, you know, and they always come at me because I'm a music head and I love Kendrick, you know, and they go, that was bullshit, man. Yeah. How about some rock and roll? That and the Grammys.
Yeah.
These same guys, there's about 10 guys in the business that, you know, do music podcasts that every year, here it comes. Just now we got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announcement today, the nominees. And, you know, so it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's the Grammys, and it's the Super Bowl. And it's always these people, man, where's the fucking rock and roll? This is bullshit, man. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, do you understand? For 30 years, it was only white people playing rock and roll on the Grammys and the Super Bowl and the Hall of Fame, you had your run. There was giant hip hop artists, Public Enemy, What About Us? Giant country, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, all of these guys that were on the outside, and rock. It was only rock.
Only rock.
You had your run.
Only played rock. Only rock.
Except for Yo MTV Raps later.
They got 1 hour.
An hour.
1 hour a day.
And it's like, you had your run, dude. Like, give it a
well,
break.
Here's what's interesting is even Michael Jackson, when he did the Super Bowl, when it was at Pasadena, during the day, he was lighter white. He was Michael Light. I mean, he was close as white as you could get. But I watched the Super Bowl halftime show, and it's me, my wife is white, her in-laws, which you just met, white.
Yeah.
So the parents didn't get it at all, but they weren't mad about it.
And they're not supposed to.
And that's the whole thing. I mean? People think everybody's supposed to get
when
the halftime
Elvis
show.
Came on TV, the parents lost their mind. What is this crap? He's moving his hips.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I love the meme where it goes, some people go, oh, we didn't understand what he said. And then they play some music from the 90s. What is
Pearl Jam?
And you don't know what they're really saying either, you know? Yeah. So it's a thing where, Kendrick Lamar, it just came out, the most viewed halftime show.
330 million, 0.5.
Yeah. Most viewed halftime show ever.
He passed Michael.
Yeah.
And this is just 2 days. We still got another week.
I know.
Because there's so many people that are like, what's this bullshit they're talking about? I want to watch it. You know what I mean?
Dude, bad press helps out way more than good press a lot of times.
That was Mitzi used to say, you want half the room to hate you and half the room to love you. Because they're going to go back to work and talk about you.
How was Mitzi, man? I don't hear a lot of... I know, like, comics have stories, but, like, your interaction with her, how was that?
I only interacted with her, like, twice.
Really?
I came at the end.
Okay.
But the last time I saw her, I did a podcast at her house with Polly, and she was there. But the real last time that I really interacted with her was the 40th year anniversary of the Comedy Store, the party.
Yep.
And I believe it was the last time she came to the Comedy Store.
Were you there? I mean, this was a long time ago, but you've been doing comedy so long. Were you there when Richard Pryor would pop into the Comedy Store? That was before your time.
Yeah, this is my 16th year.
Yeah.
But
it was towards the end where they had to wheel him in a wheelchair.
But I did see all those guys in the 80s. I was hanging at the Comedy Store. That's why I started there.
Yeah.
I saw Kinnison. I saw Dice. I saw all the biggies, pop in or do.
Now, was it more people there at that time, or no? The crowd.
Yeah, it was a hang.
It was a hang
in
then.
the 80s. It was a hang.
Okay,
big time. Oh yeah, man.
And the crowd was good then. It would pack out.
Yeah.
Okay,
like it would be rock and rollers from Sunset Strip. We would all go there after gigs and hang out. It was just another hang, because that patio is gold.
Oh my God,
that patio is fucking gold. You can hang outside and talk to people after your set. There's no other club that's got that, because the Factory or whatever, the show's over and they're in their cars and gone. But at the store, you're out on the patio and people are coming in and people are leaving, and it's electric.
It's so good.
Oh man!
And then especially on a Friday, Saturday night, that place is packed, and the energy is just.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. What's next for you, man? Like, where are you traveling a lot? I'm
just working on new jokes. So I'm at the Cellar every month for a week.
Nice.
Just trying to write jokes.
Yeah.
And then I start headlining around America February 26th through March 1st. I'm at the Punchline. That was I'm from San Francisco Bay. So
legendary. I saw a documentary. Well, not a documentary. Dave Chappelle talking about how that's his favorite club in the country.
Yeah. He's there this week, actually.
Is he really?
Yeah. Last time I was there, I told you that story.
Yeah, man.
And then he, so
my dream, my dream is to see Dave Chappelle at that Punchline.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because it's so hard to get tickets. I mean, I know luckily as comics, the people that run it, but my dream is to see him in that club. But every time he shows up,
it's a
weekend.
There's no announcement either.
There's no announcement. It's almost like you would have to have the general manager text you as soon as they know he's coming. And sometimes he'll just show up in town and be like, "I'm going up tonight."
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's a lot. He does that a lot at the store.
Yeah.
But so I got the Punchline coming up, then Comedy Fort, one of my favorite clubs in America in Fort Collins. That guy's amazing that owns that place.
Did you ever talk to the Den? I know.
Yeah, they emailed me that week and then nothing.
Oh,
they
man.
go, oh yeah, we'd love to get you. Let's set it up. I go, okay, what date? Ghost.
No, come on, Den.
Ghost.
Let's do this. The Den.
Ghost.
Oh, we got to make that happen,
yeah,
man.
let's do it.
I want you to. Yeah, man. Like
then we're shopping the special this week.
That's right. Last time we talked, you shot it. Okay, so you're shopping it this week.
Yeah, we started last week, and I got a good guy doing it with me.
How do you feel? Do you feel like either way it's going to be successful because you can put it on your own platform?
Right.
Okay, but let me ask you this, and for honesty, would you be disappointed if a streamer didn't pick it up?
Absolutely.
You would?
Not
Okay.
because of any ego or anything like that, but I look at this thing, and not because I made it or whatever, but I see a special every day come out. And when you see this special on a screen, I really want it to come out on a streamer because I want people to see it on a screen.
Yeah.
Because when you see it on a screen, it's like, it's special.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. I mean, and I see I've shown everyone, Bobby Lee. I showed it to, who did I just show it to? Oh, Dion Cole. I've showed it to.
I saw clips. It's beautiful, bro.
Oh, yeah. And everybody does the same thing. They go, wow.
Yeah.
And they're not even hearing the jokes.
Yeah.
Once you get into it and you realize the thread that I put together, it's really just about, my last 15 years of doing comedy. I think it would be a crime, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm always looking at the business because I've been on stage for 41 years and I know the business inside and out. I'm always blown away when they don't go with a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like a head guy in there goes, like Ted at Netflix goes, dude, this is a no-brainer. We just put the billboard up of the photo of this guy in the cave, and they drive down the road and they go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then there's like 9 stories with it. It was set number 5,836. Josh Homme, Queens of the Stone Age, did the intro music. This guy just did 72 arenas in America. There's all these stories. He started when he was 44 at the Comedy Store, the hardest club, so...
It's all there.
I'm always blown away that you don't just go like, here it is right here.
But here's what blows me away too. And I'm not even talking about comedy. You ever see a movie get made and you're like, how did so many people approve this movie?
Yeah.
Or this TV show? You're like, there was a room full of people that said, yeah, this is it. And then you see it and you're like, really? That's it?
Well, when you see a movie, and it happens like once a year to me, like The Brutalist, I'm like, how the fuck did that get made? It was good. You know what I mean? Like, who was the golden child in there? Power of the Dog. Who did No Country for Old Men?
Yeah.
Who did There Will Be
Are you
Blood?
saying The Brutalist is good? Like that?
Yeah, God, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man. I mean, and it's not fucking Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get it. Mm-hmm. America's like, this is boring shit. But you know what, man? When you see somebody that, The Revenant, these are films that sit with me like, who said yes? Give that guy all the fucking power.
Yeah.
Because we need different shit.
Yeah.
A 59-year-old guy that started comedy, that's different shit.
Yeah.
That gives people like, oh my God,
gives them hope.
Yeah, he started when he was ancient in the business, And we need more avenues of hope,
How long in the process do you think it will take for you to get a yes or no? Is that 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
If the 3 say no, it's immediately I'm booking some podcasts and just putting it out because I got to just put it out.
Yeah,
I cut the clips already. I'm ready.
Okay, so you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. If Netflix, HBO, and Hulu say no, it would have to take strong money for somebody else to come, and they're not coming with strong money. You know what I mean?
And also, if you do go with a streamer, you want it to be seen.
That's what it's about.
Because if it's not seen, you might as well own it and put it out yourself.
Yeah, you know,
and hope for the best.
I see these guys in the hall, and I go, "Where's your special?" And they go, "I put it on Longadong." You know, like, the fuck is Longadong? Oh, they show it at the hotels and airplane. I'm like, nah, man.
No.
Yeah, what's Longadong? That's where my stuff sits. That's where my stuff is.
Hey, man, I'm in the same boat. You know, I'm nobody. You know, I've said it over and over. These agents and streamers and the yes people are in the room when I'm hammering, like at Madison Square Garden, and they're not going, "Hey, who's this guy? Let's get him going," you know, at all. So you have to do it yourself more than ever,
and the availability to do it for yourself is way better today too.
Oh, it's
have a platform where before. Can you imagine? I mean, you've been through that side too, where you had to wait for that phone call, and if that phone call never came, you never got discovered.
You just
that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. So I enjoy both sides, but like I said, it's not an ego thing. I really want to.
It's beautiful.
I want it to be seen in people's living rooms and not on, you know, of course, on your phone later.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I come from that. You know, like Kubrick, Coppola, like visuals. Yeah, I'm not saying it's that level, but I'm saying when you see it, you go like, this is nuts.
Well, to me, compared to normal comedy specials, it is that level because when do you see that in a cave that has that first opening shot is incredible.
Yeah. With the crane coming in
the cave. Oh,
and I go, no brick wall, you know, and it's just like, and you hear my voice, I choke up because I almost cried because I worked so hard to get there. And I go, I've waited 15 years. It shows up. It literally does. Yeah. And I knew it. I go, oh, God, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm going to cry on my special.
Well, the venue itself is a character in the special. Like absolutely. That's what I think yours and then the last two Ari Shafir's specials that came out. The room is a character unto itself in the special. I watched somebody's special from 15 years ago last night for like 20 minutes, and it's a good special. The jokes are great.
Yeah.
But it was shot in a theater in Minneapolis, and I watched that, and then I was like, wait a minute. And then I went and found an old special from Arj Barker.
Yeah.
And I looked, and I was like, oh, it's the same curtain.
Yeah.
It's the same room, same curtain. Everything looks the same. If you look at those specials from like 1999 to about 2007.
Yeah.
They all were in like, basically there was about 7 theaters in America and they never changed the backdrop.
Yeah.
It was always the same curtain. So the fact that we're getting to a spot now where if you're not thinking about the aesthetics of the room, like I think about Ari's specials before that, they were whatever, but these two, they're so separate. Now the next time you do a special, you're going to have to step it up and think of the next thing.
Underwater.
Underwater. See, something like that.
I got 2 ideas, and you know they've been ideas I've been wanting to do for years, and they're solid. No one's done them yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, if I could just sell this one, and they go, let's do your next one. I go, this is what I want for the next one. And,
you know, it's kind of like I was talking to another guest of ours. It's almost like, you know, you bring up comedy clubs, but it's almost like with the freedom that artists have today, you know, we were talking about how the clubs hold all your information. You know, they got your emails, the people that bought tickets. And now what agents are doing and comics are doing, starting to book smaller theaters and having their own. I mean, it's more pressure on the comic, of course, but you can do a 400 to 1,000 seater and pack it out if you can do that. But now you have all the information. So you're kind of, what we're seeing in comedy is now the comics having more control because they don't have to do a 300 seater where they could find a 300 seater in town and do that.
Yeah, man. I learned so much from comics when I was coming up. Joe Coy, of course, did that. But one I really learned from was one of the comics. He would give a T-shirt away each night. And what he would do is he would have MailChimp.
Yep.
So his wife would go around the room and say, sign up for the email. We're giving away 5 shirts tonight.
Yeah.
And man, those guys pack out everywhere now because they have everywhere's info.
That's right. Yeah, because this happened on the last podcast we talked about. 10 years ago, emails was a thing.
Yeah.
Then everybody's social media took over. We go, we don't need emails.
No,
and now emails are coming back.
Because emails.
If you would have done it that 10 years.
Yeah. Emails have no algorithm.
No. None.
You know what I'm saying? Your fan is that email.
Yep.
And you don't have to worry about, fucking Instagram, switch the algorithm.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, dude, I've got 80,000 people follow me and, you know, I get like 5,000 likes.
Yeah.
And there's something wrong there. You know, it's just all algorithm.
Yeah.
So I get it. I follow 1,700 people. I see 5 people.
100%.
And the rest is like, who the fuck is this?
Emails, man, it's back.
It's great.
It's all about owning the addresses.
Yeah.
Well, just emails, man, and knowing where your people are.
Yeah.
Because if you can have 800 people in every market to come out to your shows, you're golden.
Oh,
you're
my
done.
God.
You're done.
The dream is to do the small theater, you know, the 1,000-seat theater.
Yep.
Like that's the dream.
City.
Every city, tour bus, cruise, and just great vibe of a small theater, ornate with some chandeliers.
Yeah.
No drink orders going on. No check drops.
Right.
Fucking fire.
Dude, I forgot. I think Brian Regan does this, and I want to do it so bad, but when he used to do clubs.
Oh, he has a guy close.
Yeah, to do the check drop.
Yeah, I did that when I recorded a record at the Comedy Works. I had a guy close. You know?
For the check. And I want to do that because if you think about it, you've worked so hard to get to this level. Yeah. Why should you do the check drop?
30 minutes in.
What
are you doing? I just got up here.
Oh, man. It is.
God.
It's about 30, 35 minutes in. They start dropping checks. And you have to have a chunk that kind of just.
Oh, yeah. It's just
it's BS.
I just talk about it now.
Yeah.
I go, here comes this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like antique fucking thing of dropping checks. Listen, Los Angeles, years ago, the industry wanted to go see bands to sign them every night. Mm-hmm. The A&R guys didn't want to be out till midnight, 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? So they demanded the headliner goes on in the middle and a closing band would go on after. So the headliner was in the primo spot. So I was like, we got to do that with comedy.
Yeah.
You got a host, headliner, feature goes on after.
You know what the clubs will say, though?
Yeah.
They think people are going to run out of.
I know. They've been saying that bullshit for years. Really, they just want you up there. They want the show super long so they can sell drinks.
Yeah.
You know? They don't want people to leave after the headliner.
Yeah.
Because they can't sell an extra hour of drinks.
They can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
Carlos Mencia hits his 3rd hour and nobody is left. Trust me, if we bring somebody up for 20 minutes afterwards, it's going to be just fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. It's an old business, but what are you gonna do? I don't complain. I just feel lucky when I'm on stage.
Yeah, man, I love it.
I'm here. This is great. This check drops. If this is the check drops, airport, and podcast editing are the 3 enemies of me.
Yeah,
the only 3 things I hate in the biz. That's it. So I
mean, we're not bad. It's not bad.
No, I'm fine. You know.
All right. Dean, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, bud.
Every time you're in town, we gotta chop it up, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm here every month.
There you go. There you go. Next time I want to talk about what you do in Vegas, like the cool stuff, because you've seen a bunch of different. That's the next podcast. You'll give us your breakdown of what to do in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I've been doing it too.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Dean, check him out. Oh, website.
Instagram. Dean Delray. All the Instagrams, R-A-Y. Website, deandelray.com. Comedy Fort, that's coming up. Blue Room and
what a great place.
I love that guy.
Love the Blue Room.
That weird little area of town. It's like a movie set, right?
Yeah, it's
what the fuck?
What is that? What's that? A Lifetime. It's like a Lifetime movie.
It's so nutty there. For 2 blocks. You're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So and that cafe across the street.
Yep.
Big old pancakes. I don't eat pancakes, but when I'm there, I'm like, fuck it.
You got to go for it.
I can do it.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. So check him out. Check me out right here. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Keep pushing it through the algorithm because I don't control it. Who knows who does, but it helps out with a like and subscribe. Later.